What if I told you that Snickers bars contain a hidden ingredient that makes them taste completely different in some countries? In fact, there's a specific reason why Snickers in the US don't taste the same as the ones in Europe. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why. But first, let's go inside one of the most high-tech chocolate factories in the world to see how millions of Snickers bars are made every single day. The Snickers bar was invented in 1930 by the Mars family, the same people behind M&M's, Milky Way and Twix. But here's something surprising. Snickers was originally named after a racehorse the family owned. Fast forward nearly a century, and Snickers is now one of the best-selling candy bars in the world, with over 15 million bars produced every day. But making a Snickers bar is a lot more complicated than you think. It all starts with a combination of three main components: nougat, caramel and roasted peanuts, all wrapped in smooth milk chocolate. But each of these layers has its own complex production process. And it all begins with the foundation, the nougat. Nougat is the fluffy, chewy base of every Snickers bar, but making it requires precise chemistry. The process starts with beating egg whites, sugar and corn syrup at high speed, creating millions of tiny air bubbles that give nougat its light texture. Then, milk powder and a secret blend of flavors are added to create that distinct Snickers taste. But here's where it gets crazy. The nougat must be heated to exactly 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 degrees Celsius, to reach the perfect consistency. Too hot and it becomes brittle, too cool and it won't hold its shape. Once the nougat is ready, it's spread onto massive conveyor belts, where it's rolled into perfect sheets, ready for the next layer. And that's where things start to get sticky, literally. Next comes the caramel, one of the trickiest ingredients to perfect. Caramel is made by slowly heating a mixture of sugar, milk and butter until it reaches a precise golden brown color. Too much heat and it burns. Too little and it stays liquid. To ensure the perfect consistency, Mars uses laser sensors that measure the exact viscosity of the caramel before it's poured onto the nougat. Once the caramel is layered on top, it's cooled rapidly to prevent it from sinking into the nougat. Now, we're ready for the crunch, the roasted peanuts. The peanuts used in Snickers aren't just any peanuts. They're specially selected for their size, texture and oil content. The nuts are roasted in giant rotating ovens at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 177 degrees Celsius, for exactly 12 minutes. This enhances their flavor and removes excess moisture. Once roasted, the peanuts are evenly scattered over the caramel layer. And here's a little-known fact. Every Snickers bar contains exactly 28 peanuts. Now that we have our three layers, it's time for the most iconic part, the chocolate coating. Snickers bars are coated in a layer of pure milk chocolate made from a blend of cocoa, sugar and milk powder. The bars travel on a moving conveyor belt, where they pass under a chocolate waterfall, fully covering them in a perfectly even coating. Then a cool blast of air solidifies the chocolate, giving Snickers its signature glossy finish. But what happens next is a secret step that most people don't know about. Before a Snickers bar is wrapped, it goes through a metal detector to ensure there are no microscopic metal fragments from machinery. Any bar that fails is immediately rejected. This ensures that every bar is 100% safe to eat. Now they're finally ready for packaging and shipping. Each Snickers bar is sealed in its signature wrapper, then packed into boxes and shipped to over 100 countries worldwide. And remember what I mentioned at the start? Why do Snickers bars taste different in some countries? Snickers bars in the US use high fructose corn syrup, while European Snickers use real sugar. This tiny change alters the sweetness and texture, making European Snickers taste slightly smoother. And that's how Snickers are made, from nougat to the final bar in your hands. If you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment on what product we should cover next.